What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review, and this time we're going to be covering Terminator Salvation, directed by McG, starring Christian Bale. Terminator Salvation is the fourth installment into the Terminator franchise. I'm going to give you my quick thoughts, and let's get right to it. Number one, the cast. I think overall the cast did a fairly good job. Christian Bale as John Connor, great choice. I like his portrayal as John Connor. I think he did an excellent job. Anton Yelchin as Kyle Reese was perfect casting. I think Anton Yelchin captured the essence of Kyle Reese as somebody who wants to help, as somebody who will put his life on the line for others. And I think Yelchin captured the essence of Kyle Reese perfectly. Not only that, I can picture Anton Yelchin growing into the Michael Biehn version of Kyle Reese, just like I can see the Eddie Furlong version growing into the John Connor we have in this movie. You know, where he's the military leader. Unlike Nick Stahl from Rise Against the Machines, who I could not buy as John Connor at all. I just didn't like him in the role. Christian Bale, on the other hand, I love him as John Connor. I think he did a great job, and I love Yelchin as Kyle Reese. And I love that scene where John Connor meets Kyle Reese for the first time. He's essentially meeting his father for the first time. I think the movie rushed through it a little bit. Then again, it was during a big chase when they're being hunted down by the T-800. But the fact that we finally got to see John meet his father, as a lifelong Terminator fan, that's good stuff for me. I like it. I can forgive it just because it gave me something I've been waiting to see for a long time. Sam Worthington plays a character called Marcus, and the character of Marcus, he's okay. He's not that interesting of a character, but I do appreciate that the movie gave him a little bit of a character arc. You know, he's pretty much this guy on death row who gives himself to science, and he gets turned into a cybernetic machine. You know, but still maintaining his human personality, though he's more machine now. And it's revealed that he's just like he's a updated infiltration unit by Skynet, where he's an unaware machine, something like that. But I do like the character arc that he's given, where at first he's untrustworthy of John Connor, but he eventually, helps out Connor when Connor's on the brink of death. So that's also okay. I would have done more with the Marcus character. What I would have done is that I would have had Marcus discover he was half machine early on, and then I would have had him struggle with then I would have had him have more of a inner struggle. The human side conflicting with the machine side that he has now. I think if Marcus's character had more of that, he would have been a much more interesting character. As it stands, he's an okay character who, at the end of the day, just barely serves a purpose to this movie. If you take him out, doesn't really change much, to be honest with you. The same goes for the character of Blair, played by Moon Bloodgood. Blair, not a bad character at all. Her and Marcus have this little romance going on, but overall, she doesn't really serve much to the plot. She doesn't really do much. Bryce Dallas Howard replaces Claire Danes as Kate Brewster, John Connor's wife. And I like Bryce Dallas Howard, but Kate in this movie has little to nothing to do. She has a couple of scenes here and there when she's talking to John about when John's hearing some oddities about his mom. That's about it. Doesn't really do much, which is a shame. You got a talented actress, and she was giving little next to nothing to do, which is, it sucks. We got Common playing the character of Barnes. I like the character of Barnes. It's clear as day that Barnes and Connor have a friendship going on, and I would have liked to see more of that, but I didn't get enough of it, which is a shame. Because I think Barnes is a cool character, and I like Common as an actor. But the movie did give us some scenes of Barnes and Connor and a friendship that exists between the two. So at least it gave me something, and I cared about him. But I'd like to see more of this one. That's what I'm trying to say. There's this kid called Star who's in the movie, who's tagging along with Kyle Reese. She serves no purpose to the movie. She's just there because extra drama, I guess. Whatever. But this movie does have an appearance by Michael Ironside, who plays a general who's constantly butting heads with John Connor, and I do like that rivalry. And it's Michael Ironside. For those who know movies like Total Recall and Free Willy, you'll know who Michael Ironside is. He's a classic, character actor who is really good at playing a hard-ass villain. And any movie that has Michael Ironside in their movie, it gets a plus for me because I like Ironside. I think he's great, and I like him in this movie as being just this dick who gets what's coming to him. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the cast itself. I gave you my negatives and my positives. Let's move on now. The story. The story to this movie. This is essentially a war movie. The general story is John Connor's got to find Kyle Reese before Kyle Reese gets killed by the machines, and in doing so, he's got to deal with the character, the Marcus character. He's got to deal with the stuff going on with the resistance themselves, who want to bomb Skynet and not evacuate hostages and stuff like that. So there is a lot of plot. There's a lot of subplots being juggled all at once, and in some cases the movie handles it well. In other cases, the movie kind of struggles to balance everything out. But I think it did it. But I think it managed to do everything in a very coherent way. There are some subplots that I would have just cut out of the movie completely, and a lot of that stuff has to do with Marcus because at the end of the day, aside from helping John Connor in the end, I really don't think Marcus is that interesting of a character. That's just what the way it is. McGee's direction. I like his direction. I think he did a good job. I think he directed his action scenes very well. He got the best out of his actors, and yeah, the movie's competently made. Cinematography of this movie. I like the look of this movie. I like this dreary, washed out, gritty, grainy world that is created. This post-apocalyptic world. It's just all gray. It's just so bleak, and the cinematography matches the tone that McGee was trying to set. This movie does not have the that light-hearted comedy of T3. This goes back to the tones of T1 and T2, of T1 and T2, where it had a more somber. They had more of a somber tone to them. That's what this movie had. This movie has a more somber tone to it, and it's actually a really good war movie. You do got some really good action sequences throughout the film. The whole last half, when the Resistance is invading Skynet, is very fun. We get a CGI cameo from the Arnold Schwarzenegger version of the T-800, which is really cool. We see the origin of John Connor's scar in his face, which is really great, which is good to see as well as a fan. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about Terminator Salvation. Like at the end of the day, I enjoy it. It's good. You know, it does have things here and there that I don't really care for, but other than that, you can watch Salvation, and you cannot. And to me, you ain't gonna get bored from it. I think it's better than Rise of the Machines. I like the whole war movie angle that it took. Christian Bale is a better John Connor. He has more of a screen presence. There are some characters that could have that needed more beefing up to be more essential to this movie itself, instead of just there as character dressing, which is a shame. The big one is Kate Brewster, the wife, because she needed more. I would have liked to see more of the Barnes character. I would have liked Marcus to have more of an interesting side to him. The stuff with him and Blair kind of saved him a little bit, and the story he had with John saves him a little bit. But other than that, to himself, doesn't really do much for me at all. Anton Yelchin, like I said, Yelchin as Kyle Reese is an inspired choice. He did great. And so, yeah, that's all I got to say. So, at the end of the day, I'm going to give Terminator Salvation I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. I like it better than Rise of the Machines. It does have problems I don't like, and it does affect the grade. But as an overall movie, it's very enjoyable, it's very watchable, and I highly recommend it. So, yeah. So, those are my thoughts on Terminator Salvation. Let me know yours in the comment sections below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.